Perfect. And welcome back to Live Dungeons and Dyslexia. I'm joined tonight with Nicholas, who has written the incredibly good family adventure book, which we should... Where's it gone? Where did I put it? Adventure in Family up here. So thank you for sending me this. We've actually struggled to do this for... You must have sent me this book, what, 3 months ago? Something like that, I think it was. And we've
It's been a while. To begin with, very pleased to be here.
Yeah.
Really glad to be here. Thank you very much for all this.
No, thank you for coming on. We would have done this sooner. So 2 weeks ago we were meant to do it, weren't we? And then my daughter decided at the last minute, can I come? And I'm like, oh, we've got some. I think. Can you see the messages here?
I cannot see.
Okay, you might be able to read that.
That
I've just shared it at the bottom of this screen.
I saw now. Now I can see. Yes.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's Greek. I don't know.
Yes, correct. It is. Γεια σου και σε σένα.
So, stick to English, RX. Welcome, RX. Thank you for joining us. I'm joined with Nicholas. So here is his book, which we will come on to and go through here. So
thank you also.
yeah. Thank you for coming on. So before I get into the book and before your background and stuff, do you want to just sort of explain a little bit about yourself, who you are?
So, practically, I started as an electronic engineer my career, although my first job was actually teaching in the university as an electronic engineer. I haven't done any electronic engineering in my life. I have been teaching for 5 years in the university as a laboratory assistant, and then I needed money. So I went to multinational, and I've been in multinationals ever since for almost 20 years. I don't look my age, but
always good.
I've been training people in multinationals, new hires, recruitment, practically I'm a learning and development specialist for almost 20 years.
Oh, cool.
And this, why did we do the book? What hit me and did the book, practically? That's the reality. Initially, it was the denial, because from 2013-14, we started noticing a shift into the people that were coming to work for the company. So the people became less and less outgoing, less social, and far less interactive. There were people that were coming and they didn't really want to talk to others that much. Yeah. It was much more difficult in the recent years to get people to communicate to others, practically. COVID did everything far worse.
Definitely.
And it took us a while to actually realize it, because in the beginning it was denial. We were thinking, okay, it's probably something that we did. It's probably them. It's not us. It's this denial phase. Till you go to acceptance. And then you say, okay, there's something wrong. We need to start checking. And we started in a very businessy way. We did a root cause analysis, which led me to realize that people did not have interactions from home. Because when you reach 20 years old and you don't know how to communicate with people, it doesn't mean that one day you just said no. That built up. And we realized that parents don't have the time as they used to. It's a big crunch in the time frames. Everything is more stressful. There are a lot of issues that start from home. And then I spoke with Radu, with a pediatric psychologist. And that's when we actually realized that, yes, it starts from children, it starts from kids, because they grow up in a certain way that only becomes worse. And that was my motivation. I was thinking, okay, I can do this. I grew up with my parents' stories. My father was telling me stories, Aesop's myths of the turtle, the fox, the chicken, which helped. It helped me teach stuff. It helped me understand stuff. So I was thinking, well, I practically play D&D for a long time. I know how to tell stories. Why not teach others how to actually create stories for their kids and help them? And add a lot more stuff. On the a lot more stuff and how to add them, Radu. So his motivation was simpler and clearer. Radu, literally, when we started having the conversation, his attitude was, Nikos, he told me, the parents don't think I'm a doctor, they think I'm a car mechanic. Literally, parents showed up in the clinic and said, here's my kid, it has a problem, fix it, and left.
Yeah.
Which actually is the problem itself. Like the realization of how the parent is treating the kid is a cause for how the kid is like that. So we had to tackle that along with everything else. So it actually rewired my brain to understanding a lot more things, and practically even changed the whole aspect of how I initially imagined adventuring family and how it became in the end.
Yeah. So do you think we have this when we've got 5 kids between us, and we've always had a family meal. So we've got a big table, obviously, but every night, regardless of what happens, especially since COVID, because I used to work at fair few evenings, so I miss them. But we always have an evening meal, and we sit around a table and eat knife and fork and everything else. And so we always talk to our children, and at the table, anything's allowed to be discussed. They can say whatever they want, talk about the day, or nothing's off topic. And like you say, we talk about stories and things like that. So hopefully that helps our kids go into adulthood. Does that make sense? Because we hear this in this country. One of the breakdowns of the family is they say that, you know, kids don't eat together. Kids like eat off their laps, watching TV. There's no sort of interaction and conversation with adults. So do you think that might be one of the reasons for the lack of sociality that you're finding as people are coming through?
There are multiple reasons. It's not one.
Yeah.
And it's not the parents' fault.
No, it's not.
Partially, yes, but they're choking also. So, as you said, you had to miss some tables because of work.
Yeah.
There is the struggle of, I have to drive to work, I have to come back, I have to study with the kids, I have to see if they did their lessons, I have to spend some time, I have to understand, and if they have a problem, it's time. So when a parent has to cook, wash, shower, clean the house, it's crazy.
Yeah.
There, even without kids, even single people barely have time for themselves. So everything becomes far more complicated the moment that you actually have to care for more people on your life, people that actually depend on you.
Yeah.
So this also helped us understand that we need not to create a game, not to create a toy. We needed something that will actually save time from the people, from the parents, from everybody reading it. For example, you have a kid, okay? One of the 5. Pick whichever you want.
Okay, yeah.
Mathematics exam on Friday.
Yeah.
Next Friday, there's a mathematics exam. So you need to check to see if the kid knows the basic mathematics, algebra, geometry, whatever it needs. So an example, from the book that they have, you can take the problem, you can keep it there.
Yeah.
You also need to see, okay, my daughter is gonna be having a poetry session at school also, so I need to see if she's prepared, if she has stage fright and stuff. Okay, 2 things. Then you may see, okay, you know what, the other kid has geography. Is it studying geography or it's reading Mickey Mouse and cartoons in there? What is going on? All these 3 things is the preparation you need to do for a session of adventuring family. That's it. That's the only preparation as a parent that you need to do.
Yeah.
Because you can implement all that stuff, and with 1 hour of a game that the kids will literally draw the battle map. They will draw mountains and stuff. You can check. How do you say this? The party enters a treacherous mountainy terrain. Describe me 4 or 5 locations that you drew. As a parent now, you know if your kids like to draw. You can judge how well they're drawing. You can see, are they inclined for that? You already can see if they know basic geography, if they can identify the things that they're writing or they're drawing.
Yeah.
Then, okay, as you're going down the hills, you see a caravan that is stopped. Mini side quest, they go, the head caravaneer, merchant, whatever, lost a bet with a shadow. The shadow took it over because he failed on a mathematical problem, which accidentally correlates to the test that they're giving.
Yeah.
Can they solve it? Yes. He's prepared for the test. Very good. 2 down. And to thank them, let's have a small dancing and acting contest and everything, and we're going to give you more rations, we're going to give you some rewards, blah, 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 blah. You can ask them, okay, would you like to say a poem? Would you like to dance? That way, as a parent, you can also see if your kids have stage fright, or maybe they're into acting. Maybe they actually want to put on shows and go for the spotlight. So it's not only so as a game itself, the definition is that it is parent-led, educational role-playing game. But it is not only for the kids to learn. It's also for the parents to learn the skills of their children. So it's educational for the parents also to understand that my child can do something very good and has a natural incline towards it, or it's feeling uncomfortable with certain stuff, and we need to work on that.
Okay. Yeah. So before we get into the book then, so thank you for that. Do you want to just sort of take me through your first role-playing experience? You know, what was the first sort of games you played? How did you get into the hobby?
1998 or 97, something like that. We were 16, 17 years old. And we started, it was 2nd edition. We had no books. We had no idea of the rules. We had a DM who knew everything and had everything. We barely understood characters. We barely understood classes. We just wanted to play D&D. We just wanted to experience fantasy. It was horrible. It was perfect, but it was also horrible because it was dark sun setting.
That was my first 2nd edition Dark Sun. And RX, we were talking. We were trying to get this.
We actually became
2 of us are trying to get a Dark Sun game going.
We actually became very good in creating characters because I was making a new character every 2 to 3 sessions. We were dying constantly.
Dark Sun does that.
I could not understand what was going on. The first books I bought was the third and a half edition of D&D.
Yeah.
That's when we actually started learning how to play stuff. And it took years. Actually, I realized that I was better as a dungeon master than as a player during those moments. It was easier for me to make stories and actually play correctly the game. I was bad at it.
I think it does, you know, certain people like Games Master and some people like playing, and then I think it is sort of my minority that, that sort of move over that quickly. But that's quite good because so obviously it's one of those things that someone's got to do, and it's a skill. But I think everyone's got this starting story in 2nd edition that we all played the game and no one really knew the rules. Because it's only when you sort of find out from a Games Master and then you read a book, you go, actually, it's all right, we just homebrew your homebrew? Because we were homebrewing so much. Everyone did, I think.
So imagine that I'm from Thessaloniki. Back then it was 1.5 million of people. There was one store in all of that place. And we barely could get books, everything. It was mostly novel stuff. Everything was just beginning then. We also had no idea what we were doing. Even with the books, till we read them, till we understand them, our English level was not as good also.
So the books weren't even translated into Greek. It was all in English.
Unfortunately, back then,
yeah,
they better. You would wish not to have them translated. They were.
Oh, okay. Is that bad when they were translated? It's like none of this makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
We spent a whole afternoon. We couldn't figure out what that thing was till we figure out guys, I think this is the dire wolf. And it's like it took, we realized we cannot work with this.
Yeah.
It wasn't that easy. But things clicked, and honestly, things clicked. Although we were playing, I was actually playing till 2009. Actually, 2010 was the last time that I played. And then I restarted at around 15, 16.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really believe that I played more D&D during COVID than I played all my previous life. Like, it was never ending. There were constant online games then. It was a different reality.
Yeah.
And we became experts instantly after all this.
Yeah, it definitely drove a lot of people through, things like Roll20 and stuff like that. And, it got people used to it, because I don't think a lot of people had actually played online. We've been playing online for quite a while, because I've still got the same group since we were teenagers, and some of us can get together on a Sunday and others have moved away. So we do a Tuesday night. It's like a national country thing. But the Sunday we're still all face to face. But yeah, lockdowns, it was all online, and it's been good, because it's a completely different skill, isn't it? Playing online to face to face, I think.
There are different. I'm actually teaching D&D in a store with
cool.
beginner session and everything. You can still see the excitement. We obviously tested a lot of things for the book and stuff, but online made things much, much easier.
Yeah. Do you run Adventure in Family sessions online, or do you just, I guess,
so
ideally more face to face?
The mechanics, so it was a multi-level breakdown on stuff. So my guinea pigs / test subjects were my friends and other people that we played D&D. They were all adults, but I wanted to test mechanics. So I even had the sessions that we played football. So everything was tested with adults on the mechanical session, how easy it will be.
Okay.
The kids, that was with Radu on the clinical aspect, because the book is actually being used by We Change of Bucharest from the clinic. So the clinic embraced the book, and the clinic was really wanting something like this for them also to be used. So they're using it in clinical trials, and they actually used sessions. But in a clinical environment, it's different, because when it's investigative, it's inquiring. So they start playing. The moment that they realize, okay, we found something, good or bad, let's focus on this. So they were stopping the game part, and they were starting actually the therapy part, talking to the family, going back to events and all. The original book, not the one that you're having, the first version that came almost a year before these modifications and before looking so well, that book was given to parents, and we told them, look, this would be useful to your kids. There you go. Let us know if it helps you. Some parents had no idea about D&D. Some parents were experts in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
And the feedbacks were completely different, but all good. So everybody enjoyed it in a different way. So those that actually had D&D experience, it was very easy to adapt everything to the kids, and actually it opened their eyes. It gave them clarity on the, hey, I can do things far simpler and I don't have to stress myself so much.
Yeah.
Or the kids. For the parents that had no idea about D&D, they just wanted to transfer knowledge, they said that it was fine because we could see, the kids were seeing Frozen 2 every day practically, so one became Elsa, one became Anna, one
Bloody Frozen.
It was easy. And we have these things, especially all the unique feats and everything, in the book for the kids to just say what you want to be. Captain America, Iron Man, Elsa, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's a really good set. I thought that was really good when you do that. It's that session 0 bit, isn't it? Where you sort of let me see.
The first discussion that I had with Radu, one of the first discussions, I asked him if he would like, what is more convenient for kids? Would it be better to have animals as characters or to have humans as characters? Like we can go dwarves, I told him. And what he said was, we don't want distancing between character and player.
Right.
You're not your character. It's you.
Yeah.
We don't want to be a turtle. We don't want to be anything different than what the kids can associate themselves to. They can feel themselves to. They gain their classes. They gain their first level after starting as themselves by using memorabilia, by using something, heirloom, something from their house, their favorite t-shirt, blanket, toy, something, so they can get even more attached to the character, and they will perform as the character, so it's easier to detect certain behaviors.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
It's everything went on the therapeutic part and investigative part. Again, we're talking about purely the therapeutic part is investigative. We're not replacing doctors. Okay, this is.
Yeah.
I really wish it was a magic wand or a magic book that would heal. Unfortunately, no. And it needs therapy, but alongside, it can even showcase certain things for your kids, good or bad. It works both ways.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we should just quickly introduce Radu, because obviously we've spoken about him a bit. And so basically the book itself is obviously Nicholas here is trainer and speaker. And obviously this was your idea. And then obviously you went to Radu, who's a pediatric psychologist, psychotherapist.
Adlerian, meaning he works with toys. And that was a perfect thing. It was incredible.
Yeah. So, and he's the guy behind the psychological part of the book, isn't it? That's driven that side of things.
Just to clarify, you can even go on the chapter 1, which is actually not chapter 1, it's the mental issues.
Yeah.
So we specify that it is, so we start with ADHD, dyslexia, dyscalculia, all these things. These are the first part we can do. And then we have ASD. So we have the autism spectrum. Okay, so autism spectrum, a lot of people have the idea from Hollywood, from a movie or something, but autism spectrum is a lot of things. So to put it in D&D words, it's a class with multiple subclasses. We do not handle everything. Okay, there are a lot of issues in there. We're dealing with the classical autism, okay, which is behavioral issues, which is verbal issues, interactivity, and social. And under the clinical terminology of autism, we also have Asperger, which is in the second page. You can go back. which, although under autism, it has some specific differences as we're clarifying. So people will see and will detect, oh, maybe this, maybe that. People need to understand that nothing is so simple in these conditions. You cannot just blanket term something and say, yeah, that's it, and have a specific idea. That was Radu's input. And then we had learning disabilities. We had emotional issues by losing a parent. Most common was the divorce, but we have a lot of ways to go because there are some parents that were lost because of natural causes or other issues. There were a lot of things, but the kids still suffer and we needed to tackle them. And of course, bullying and fake news inside the stories and stuff, but these were the initial things. Bullying is not something that you can just explain. Kids need to understand, especially if the kid is being bullied, it needs to get empowered. It needs to understand that it's not his fault. It needs to understand that he's not weak, that he's not a loser. So to deal with that, we set a lot of educational aspects in the game to empower and assist children. So the kid will realize that I have my own worth, I'm good, I can deal with stuff, it's not my fault or my problem. And through that, you start building and start explaining things to them.
Yeah. So it pretty much covers a lot of things, doesn't it, for children?
It covers up to the point that I said, we're stopping.
Yeah.
Because I actually realized, I said that, okay, we finished 5 times in 3 years. Because I realized that the more I was writing, the more things I wanted to put, and the book would have been 1 million pages, and still I would be writing. So it's impossible to.
Yeah, no, and I think I'm glad it's down to like 128, which covers 126, which covers the whole thing, because it's a lot easier because not all parents can read that fact. You know, reading's a learnt skill. You know, there's no other species in the planet that reads. You know, so everyone has to learn to read, and obviously you know, if you're trying to help a child, you need to make sure the parent, especially if they've never role played before, and this is so so is that the reason why you sort of threw away the D20 and went to a D6 system?
Not me. Radu did.
Yeah.
So yet again, so what happened was that initially I presented him, you know, this is the 5th edition of D&D, I can simplify it, I can do it, and he was like, no, it's too complicated. Even the D6, even one dice, can be complicated if the childs are having dyscalculia or other issues.
Yeah.
We just wanted to be educative and easy. Funnily enough, one of the parents that I gave the book, he told me that the kids, because they knew from him D&D, they were expecting and asking him, when are we getting the D20? So by himself, he changed the rules and changed the dice. But that's a different story. You can do it if you want to, but it's a lot of effort. This is simple. It gives a lot of, so the kids can use whatever they want, imaginatively, without the, I am going and choosing this for more damage. It affects nothing. You can use almost whatever you want. There are no actual gains or benefits or anything, so we don't differentiate the kids so much. We don't want to create a competition of, I am doing the most damage, I play first. No, we want to avoid this. If it becomes a competition, we lost it.
Yeah.
It needs to be cooperative in every single aspect. So they need to work together to change stuff, to solve issues, to solve a riddle, to assist each other to achieve something. Everything needs to be cooperative. And the D6 was simple. Everybody has a D6 in their hands from any board game. The whole point of the book was not to add extra costs to the parents. All we're asking is some post-its and some souvenirs, just to have for the dungeon building. It's part of the
and a Rubik's Cube.
Do it. Yeah,
I love the Rubik's Cube bit. I think that's a really great bit in the book.
You do this so the kids can play also in that moment. Everything is a game.
Yeah.
So
and interactive as well. It becomes tactile, doesn't it? So
constantly. So the kids are not bored and they understand turn taking. For us, it's normal. If I say you play first, I play second, it's clear. Not for the kids. The kids will be bored. The kids will have nothing to do. That's where the Rubik Cube comes in. And that's where the flipping the tiles for the dungeon comes in. And all these games come in so the kids are not bored.
Yeah, because you've got, I couldn't find it. I thought it was just going to jump to it. So let's just sort of like take through character creation, I think. So backgrounds, anyone familiar with 5th edition or any edition of Dungeons and Dragons and things like Pathfinder are going to get this with their children. So you've got a choice of 3 backgrounds. So you can come from a farmer, artisan, nobility, and they will also have, the impact of a potential poor family, rich family, or normal wealth family, which is quite a nice thing because it allows the players, well, the children as well, to sort of start understanding, I guess, different issues as well that would come. Because they won't think of the world outside, do they? Children.
Exactly. They start realizing how things work, how things can go. They can, what we say, everything can be modified from the parents. But indeed, we let it like this in order for the parent to put them in a specific setup based on their needs and necessities. There is no special abilities or anything gained. It's just educational stuff.
No, they get to pick their special abilities, which is cool. But it's the attributes are going to be familiar to everyone here. So strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. You've got a bunch of skills as well. And all you're doing, and I like the bit actually, I think it's in the mechanics section, because it's a D6 plus you add your attribute plus your skill. And you're normally trying to get over a 2 or 3, depending whether it's simple, difficult. But there is a bit where if the children are too young and they're not good at counting, or you want to take out the chance of failure because they're not ready for that, you can just make every dice a passive 3.
So this is actually for dyscalculia children.
Yeah.
Or for younger children that even if the parent just says, I don't want to have dice. Yeah. Either you can remove the dice, or easier for calculations, just calculate always the dice at 3.
Yeah. Simple. And this is one of my favorite rules, and this inspirational dice.
No dice needed.
Yeah. But if they come up with a really cunning way of doing stuff, so it's going to create narrative talk, confidence, communication amongst, and also you're rewarding something clever. You give them an extra D6 to roll. So you're technically rolling on advantage is the mechanic, isn't it? Because you're rolling 2 D6 and pick the higher with this inspiration. And they've got to spend it there and then as well. So you're instantly rewarding and gratifying, as opposed to here's a die that you can use at any stage, which is stressful. Because people don't, you take things like luck tokens in Shadow Dark. People just hold on to things like that, like aspiration in 5th edition. No one spends it because you're thinking, I'm going to save it for a death save or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Where this one, there's the games master, you're going, here you go. Well done for a great idea.
So this came differently. So this and one other aspect that actually no one realized for some weird reason, like from all the testing and all the reviews, I was like, is somebody going to say? Nobody said it. There is no spell save DC. All spells automatically hit and automatically work.
Yeah.
Everybody took it for granted. Nobody even questioned it. There is a point in this. So why is the inspirational dice? The whole point is that a child might be close to himself and not being expressive enough. They might be not outgoing. Okay? No worries. Even if the child declares, okay, I want to attack, I want to do something, I want to help, the moment they take the courage to become less introvert and start expressing themselves, they need to be rewarded. For us, it's very normal. For a child, for a 6-year-old that is introvert, that has issues, especially if it gets bullied at school and they don't want to become outgoing, that is a huge step. So it needs to be rewarded. So automatically we double the die. Or the 3 becomes a 6 automatically to, let's say, automatically succeed.
Yeah.
This is important. The spells need to succeed because a spell needs to be described inherently. You cannot cast a spell without starting saying, I want to hit here, I want to do this. You need to start explaining automatically things. So the moment you do that, we cannot tell to a kid, you went through all this, you fought all your demons and fears to talk and express yourself, and then to tell him, you failed. If I take my time to prepare, for example, a banishment spell and hit, and it fails, I'm like, look at the die. At least I burn a legendary reaction or something. This is for the mechanics that speak to me.
Yeah.
A child is going to be crushed if something doesn't work. So these things were created, were designed just so we can help the child, knowing that if I express myself, I'm not going to fail. I'll have more chances of succeeding.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
they need to open up. That's the point.
Cool. So we've got standard classes. Again, 5th edition D&D. People are going to get it. Simple stuff. The knight obviously replaces, I'm guessing you took the barbarian out, brought a knight in because they're more heroic. And you don't need that craziness of a barbarian running around for a 6-year-old.
You don't need so much complication.
Yeah.
Like the knight is simple mythological knights. Everybody knows them. Hero in shining armor. No complaints on that. Very classic. Sword and shield or big sword. Go hit. That's it.
Yeah.
Cleric, we also say you can change the deities and all the aspects. You can teach deities. We set up churches, schools, everything with its own purpose. Just for parents that want to teach kids that you can go to church, it's going to be there, blah, blah. So if a parent wants to teach religion, there you go. If a parent doesn't want to teach religion, they can just remove it. Yeah. You can do whatever you want. That's all. It's simple as that.
No, it's good because the only thing that did confuse me is I don't reckon there's a child in the world that's going to know who Bruce Lee is. I was just looking like, they won't know who Bruce Lee is. That's for the parents, isn't it?
Street Fighter and something.
Yeah. They'll know that. They'll get Shaolin monks and stuff. So, and we then get. So I showed this to my daughter. Because I've got 5 kids, none of them are interested in role playing. They, that's Dad's weird hobby with his weird mates. And I showed this to. I just thought, she was like, because this was. Say you sent me this. I think it was about 3 months ago, somewhere around that. And you say we struggled just to align our diaries to talk about this. And I showed, and my daughter opened the book, and because all the artwork's deliberately children, obviously, because then they can see themselves in the heroes. And she went. I looked at this and she went, the artwork in here, someone really cares about this because it's brilliant. And then just stopped reading and handed it me back and then lost interest and walked off because, again, it's one of Daddy's weird books. But yeah, she couldn't care about the hobby. But she loved the fact it was all the art in here is kids.
Yes. So the artist is a friend of mine, Elisabeth Yatsoglu. She's mentioned in the book and everywhere that I can, actually.
Yeah.
She created the artwork. So I know Elisabeth because we played D&D for almost 6 years together in various servers and campaigns and stuff. So the whole design, I told her, look, this is going to be for kids and all. And she instantly said, 80s, 90s cartoons. Yes, that was it. That's the inspiration. When we went to design the monsters, I said, okay, we have only 2 monsters, melee ranged. That's it. We don't want crunching stat blocks. I don't want a whole monster manual. It's gonna make people cry. Like if you're a father that doesn't know D&D and you have 30 different monsters to pick with raids. No, God, no. 1 melee, 1 ranged. They gain levels along with the characters. So there is always the what new is gonna come. So it's not the boring monster because they upgrade constantly. And there are the bosses. You know, it's a specific boss, a specific thing.
Yeah.
Period. But saw everything, all this, because the bad guys in this are shadows. It's non-violent, the game, so you cannot, even if the players, even if the kids say, I want to attack somebody, there are mechanics, they lose their powers, they cannot do anything bad.
Go to the back. There we go. Here's the creatures at the back. So yeah.
So when I asked her, okay, we need a ranged enemy, she instantly said Darkling. I was like, okay, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, because the shadows kind of possess people, don't they? That's the way it kind of is. And so if we were fighting, the shadow would be taking over me, and the kids are attacking what's possessing me as opposed to physically me, isn't it? And then if the kids take damage, they can get knocked out. I think is the way it worked.
Consider it like Persona 5 or all the personas. You don't hit the person, but the darkness inside of you.
Yes. Yeah.
So the shadow took over somebody. We actually say you, based on how the parent can play it, they either kidnap people and take their doppelgangers, or they literally take people in. So you defeat the shadow, and when the person comes back, the regrets, they have everything. This is the whole point. Oh, nah, thank you. That's so kind. So, I think Elizabeth got it. And also, since we're mentioning Elizabeth, also a really big thing, because I'm not an editor. We try to do stuff, but Wally DM, who has also his YouTube channel with traps and puzzles and everything, he's our editor. He made this 1,000 times better than I could have imagined. He's an incredible person and editor, really, and really thank him for all the effort he did.
Yeah.
It was marvelous. And even in the last days, she was sending me, he was like, is this okay? I was like, yes, but you know, I realized that I can fit in a Star Trek pan in here. Can I please, can I? And he was agreeing to everything. We were changing stuff on the last day. The moment that I was reading and say, yes, Wally DM. Yes,
he did say Wally DM. Yeah.
Yes, Wally DM. Yes.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
That's why there's a big trap section in here as well, isn't it? Because he does love his traps.
Of course I have traps. I mean, it's fun.
You can't have Wally DM without traps in the book.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he's incredible. Like, he really took the book next levels, like a lot of levels. Like, incredible person.
You got three different types of magic users and the spells. The spells are really good. We'll get onto the spells, but these unique traits are what we were talking about very earlier, because the kids just pick them, don't they? They just go, which one do you want? So there's no randomness to it, and this is just like an ongoing power that they can sort of personalize their character with.
They can be given even as rewards and everything. I mostly put them there. I was literally going back and forth on commercial TV, on anything from Marvel, from cartoons, comics, Paw Patrol, anything, just to see what specific powers they're using. And literally, I was like, let's try to implement these things. If a kid is seeing this and he wants to duplicate it in his character, let's give them more options. Why not? Like, let them play whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Monk.
So we then get into equipment, which is nicely kept simple, obviously with the light slots, heavy slots, very heavy slots, which is always good. And then the weapons.
I don't know. So this chapter, if you have kids, as I'm stating also inside it, If you have young kids, just keep it. You don't need it. Practically, you don't really need it. This is if you want to start teaching your kids about finances, money, living, cost of living, and just some basic financial education.
Yeah.
Or this is for the more adult audience, because let's face it, if we play, I'm not going to put you to draw and paint stuff. This is more traditional D&D. It might get too complicated for kids.
Yeah.
But I left it there. I wanted to have it so for a bit older audiences, like if they're over 10 years old, they can start using this. And it is very easy after this to get acquainted with any other RPG. So practically, it's also a gateway RPG. So we start with that. You know instantly everything you need to know about any RPG. And then you can hop into anything else, and you already know the basics. Like there is not a single RPG that you will not be able to play after this.
Yeah, yeah. Because I like this, like, you know, the spending money. You got this bit about crime and gambling, which is like they said, destroy darkness, do not join it. So yeah, good.
So even if kids choose violence,
yeah,
they lose their powers. They cannot actually do anything. So we have the mechanic to rewind time. We're going to talk about it later, even, I guess. But just although for educational purposes, although in D&D we hate that, like the lucky feat is the most banned feat ever. So we don't want things to reroll. This is mandatory for children.
Yeah,
because kids learn from their failures, from their mistakes. They want to experience stuff. So we need a way to reverse time. They make a mistake, they apologize, they learn from it. Let's go back and fix it. It's part of the educative purpose of all this.
Yeah.
This is the whole point. Exactly. This is the whole point of teaching. They can do mistakes. The worst thing a kid can do is to make everything perfect. If they do everything spotless, they haven't actually learned something. They haven't experienced something. It's like playing a video game with the cheat sheet next to you, with the video guide next to you. You don't actually experience stuff.
Yeah.
And then when something happens that is out of the ordinary, they will not be able to understand it or cope with it that easy. When they experience it here, they are prepared. They know what went wrong. They know how it went wrong. And they start putting one and one together much easier.
Yeah. No, cool. Because that's so that as they level up, they get like crystal tears, which is like a reward, and then they spend that, don't they, to rewind the event to go back. That comes out, doesn't it? They're using these crystal tears, and then we got the Wally DM special. We've naturally just got into his trap section, and the traps are really cool because you've done it exactly how you'd expect it to be done for children, and they are just little mini games and puzzles and riddles. You know, but obviously easier riddles, not like the really difficult ones.
You would say, but you know that the
I'm sure adults won't get them.
The worst enemy in every D&D history is a door. Nobody can open a door.
No one wants to because they always think it's trapped. You know, like
it's a trap.
You know,
it's
like,
a mimic. It's all.
Yeah. I think we've all had sessions.
I've had parties spent almost all the session in front of a door, getting convinced like that it's whatever. It's crazy. Like you can speed through everything, but a door can mess the game completely. So even a simple riddle like that, I've seen it kill parties. It's like game or ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are fun for kids. And you can actually see that some kids have a natural intuition towards that. So you can actually see that if they like this, their brain works a bit different with the riddles and all. They're looking a lot more outside of the box. So a child that will focus on these things and find quick solutions usually may be on the other side of the spectrum, seeing that things that are very simple to him might not make sense, but these things will actually showcase that his brain works 100 times faster. That's why the simple stuff are too boring for him. It is showcasing.
Yeah. And everyone hates the fox and chicken and the grain puzzle.
I love those stuff.
It's like the two cups one that's in Die Hard with a Vengeance, with the things of water where they got to fill in the
water bottles.
Yeah,
read the water bottles a little.
Yeah.
Read the water bottles.
Oh, it is here. Yeah. Oh,
that's exactly
that one. I missed that when I was going through it. That is such an annoying one, and it's so simple, but it's just a lot of the time you just can't see it, can you? Homework, adding events. So what we want to do, let's just do. So combat's nice and simple. Because you're just trying to beat the armor value, aren't you? And obviously, I suppose if you've taken out that one section, the armor value is always predominantly just going to be the dex, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you hit? Can you not hit? It's simple. We try to keep it simple for kids. We only say, no matter what you do, don't tamper with the damages, because then things can be very weird.
Yeah.
It's really different. You can. This applies even to Dungeons and Dragons or any game. Like, don't mess with the damage. Don't just give them full damage or something. Things might get too easy, but still, everything is gonna help a lot. This actually can help, and with the conditions and everything. I think it's either in the top or at the end. I'm mentioning specifically if the party does something wrong, because spoiler alert, the abilities of the enemies are like riddles. They do clap your hands. If they don't clap, they might get a penalty, like they can lose a turn or something. So I'm always saying, if a child loses its turn for whatever the reason, don't target him afterwards with another losing the turn thing, because it's going to get bored, because it will feel bad. So if there is any reason for a child to lose its turn, don't focus fire on it ever again. Just move to everybody else, and that's it. Like, just to be sure that the kids are playing. It's mentioned, but this also applies to. This is also applying to every single game I've played, because it feels bad to be there in combat and constantly to be stand locked or whatever, and just to everybody plays and I'm here.
I've watched grown adults, most adults should be, absolutely lose it when they miss a turn. It's like you've got that banishment spell in 5th edition where they just disappear out of the combat entirely. And I've had one of my players in an absolute mood. I'm like, well, you play it to me, so you don't think I'm ever going to come back at you with it. But so I perfectly get it. Saying that, what's that? It's Talisman, isn't it? Is it the board game Talisman? Have you ever played it, where you're just going round and round the outside? You've got to get to the middle, and you can land on a square and get turned into a frog. My eldest son started crying because he was turned into a frog.
Oh,
one of my daughters died when we played cried when we played Zombieland, and not Zombie Side, you know.
Why would you play that with kids? I have Last Night on Earth here.
They weren't little at that stage. The two younger ones were in bed. No, so our kids range from, so now the eldest is 23, the youngest is 15. So there's about 8 or 9 years in between them. So the older ones, but they would have been, I think my middle daughter would have been probably about 14, 13 when we were playing Zombicide, and they've been playing games together for years. So, and it's a co-op game. You don't expect them to die. What you're basically saying is I'm a terrible parent now, aren't you? That's what you're doing. So I'm just going to share this comment. So at least someone doesn't think I'm that bad when it comes to this.
Yeah. Look, first
but
of all, there is no bad parent or a bad DM. Everybody is trying to do their best. We have to start with that.
We've just sold one. There you go. What one has been ordered?
So the whole point is that
you sold a book.
Thank you. So literally the whole point of this is that everybody is stressed. Everybody has issues to deal with. Everybody has their own demons. And we're trying to do the best, especially for the kids. That's the whole point of it. Some things may work, some things may not, but that's it. Like, everybody's trying.
Yeah.
At least that.
So when you built the world, did you build the world with Rado, or did you kind of do this?
No, he loved a lot of stuff because this is a lot of Greek stuff, and he loved that I used a lot of Greek words, mixed and matched Greek stuff.
Yeah.
I did the word building. That was the easiest part for me. The word building, everything was set. We kept it very simple. I would say JRPG style, like it's a central hub of a town. You start from a small town, go to the main city. And I chose this because the game is a campaign, obviously. And through this campaign, you can explain to kids certain things. You can explain from agoraphobia, alcoholism, bulimia, anorexia, eating disorders in general. You can start explaining things to the kids in a fun way, let's say, so without being too gross or anything, just for them to know what is happening and why is it happening in the future. However, the whole point of the game, and a lot of parents actually were telling me on the initial setup that we barely play the campaign because constantly something happens at school, there is something that we need to solve them, so it's just side quests. So having a hub and sending the kids to mini side quests worked wonders for the parents without damaging the story, because overall they're working towards a goal and they're getting minor helps. Like a very simple game. It's not complicated for the parents because they cannot lose track of what is happening. They just, they have a quiz, let's work on the quiz, mini side quest, they go there, they did this, came back, we didn't have time to move the story, but the test is more important. Yeah. So it's easy with this to implement any educational need of the family to check with the kids and all, and make it like a game and not make it feel like now I don't have my dad with me, but a police officer that wants to see if I did my studies. It's funnier even for the kids. It changes the relationship.
So spouse section. Actually, I don't know whether we might have had it earlier, actually, because there's a bit, isn't there? Because the games master is meant to be either teacher, psychologist, parent, or it does basically say, if you've got a confident child, you can try and teach them to become the games master. I think that's right. I think that's actually right at the start. We've probably skipped past that. But the spells are good because, and I wish other games did this with spells. Broken down as we're all used to tier spells and stuff, but each spell one line pretty much. Keep it. I know it's designed for children, and so they don't have to. But a lot of adults, I think, would be quite happy with spells of this nature.
When you become dragon, and some very end game spells have big descriptions, but these are meant to help kids get used to certain stuff. So a lot of spells are actually a one click extra version of the old spell. Very simple, very easy. This is just to assist. There is no teleportation, there is no flying, there are no things like that. So we don't give the easy way out. They need to understand certain things, and the kids cannot skip important lessons that the parents want to teach them. So they have to go. There is feather falling because the kids may want to get a goat from a roof that's stuck because they were going to go with the parents to the farm, and the parent says, let's help the farmer with the goat in the roof. If they have a wizard, they can cast feather fall on the goat and everything will be much easier. But that's
fireball.
Or fireworks.
Gets the goat off.
We need to eat.
Yeah, there you go. It's the sort of thing my kid. That's the sort of thing That's the sort of thing my youngest daughter would do. So yeah, she'd be, we'll deal with it that way. She's the sort of child. If we had her first, we wouldn't have had the other four. So she knows it as well. So it's not. I'm not saying anything. Because the adventure is so obviously this talks through adventure, important NPCs. But what I like when we get to the actual adventure is here, it kind of just takes you through your sessions, doesn't it? Which is very easy for a games master, very easy for the players. But it doesn't tell you exactly what should go on in the session, but it gives you a good idea and a layout, and it takes you through the whole part and when they level up as well. So it takes all the work away, which is quite nice, isn't it?
This is on purposely made like this, so even if somebody just prints these 10 pages, they just put it on a scanner printer or something, or even rip them off, it's very easy to follow them. Very simple cheat sheets, just like that. We did it with the mentality that the parents don't have the time to prepare everything, and they just want to have this session. That's the whole point, to make things simpler and easier for themselves. It's game master oriented, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things I wish I whenever I'm doing a review, I always think if it's a brand new world, brand new book, I think almost mandatory you should have at least a starting adventure. But this is a complete start to end, isn't it? For whoever wants to run it, which is good. So from here, what's your next? So no, probably just talk about the character sheet quickly.
Very simple.
Obviously, we got the hint and tip section, which that's for people, I think. But there's also a lot of room on it as well, which you can tell that's designed for kids because they write really big.
They can design their character, they can draw, they can write. There is space. It's meant for kids. The character sheets and the preview. The preview is the first 2 chapters with explaining the game and the mental conditions and everything. They're for free in the website, so anybody can download them. They don't have to rip off the book or anything. They can just download the character sheets, as many as they want, no problem. That's all.
Cool. I'm just going to reshare the website. I've also got, I think, I do know now. I've got an Amazon link.
To buy the book. That's the book directly in Amazon.
Yeah.
It's global on Amazon. Pick your closest Amazon. We self-published. We are literally for people that just did something to help.
Yeah. And I've got an Amazon affiliate link in the description, so if you want to use that, then go and find it, and then buy a greenhouse as well. I earn a lot more money. So what's next for Adventure and Family? Where are you hoping to take it from here?
So we're hoping that initially we're getting really good feedback now lately from therapists also and pediatric psychologists, so it's gonna start growing in the medical community. We started getting some talks with the publisher. We'll see. It's very, very, very new. We'll see. We'll see. It's nothing set in stone or something. If they're interested.
So is that mainly in Greece or is it sort of international?
Global. It's in the US.
Brilliant. Amazing.
It's actually in the US.
Yeah.
But the main thing is if we can get it to brick and mortar stores, to the actual bookstores for everybody. Well, we're currently living in Romania, so United States is too far away from us.
It's a long flight with a lot of books in your bag as well.
Yeah. I'm going home to Greece and it's a long trip for me.
Yeah.
But the US. But you never say never. And this is so far from the feedback that we already got from parents and therapists. I actually already started writing number 2, so an expansion with stuff
cool.
that everybody asked.
Yeah.
It was things that I had in my head, but it was too much and too complicated to put on the first book.
Yeah.
We're getting feedbacks, we're getting some things from parents, some reviews, so we're gonna probably in 1 year or 2 we're gonna have something else, mostly to assist more targeted things that parents need.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, that's
So
very good.
the future is bright, though. We hadn't had a single person saying this is bad.
Yeah.
This is very good for me.
But the thing is, it's what you're trying to do is help people, and you know, my channel is based around the fact that, you know, with my dyslexia, if I'd never discovered role playing, I don't know where I'd be. You know, I was very sort of, I was very anxious. I was terrible at reading. I couldn't read out loud. I never do presentations. I used to try and sneak off to the toilet in English classes when we were reading out. There was lots of stuff that I hated. And obviously through my love of reading role-playing books, it kind of changed my life, you know, and I wish things like this were around, because my parents didn't have a clue I was dyslexic, because my dad was always busy and my mum was always whatever she was doing. My mum never worked, but she didn't really know what I was. But I was a bratty child, which goes very much hand in hand with dyslexia and things like that, because we use jokes, comedy, and
with a lot of things that parents, especially back in the days when we were kids, were actually ignored.
Yeah.
Like, things have changed and things are changing. Like what autism has, even the explanation of what is autism and what is contained in the autism spectrum is constantly changing. Asperger became part of autism in like last decade. It was considered something mild and unimportant and irrelevant. So it wasn't even considered an issue till they put it in it. So all of these things change as medicine changes. The more, I think the future will be better and better. In certain aspects, let's not get too optimistic.
Well, no, but the thing is, you know, when you approached me 3 months ago and you were like, you know, I think I've got something that you should be in thing, and I was like, well, this is absolutely, you know, this is exactly where I want to be. And then we've kind of not managed, we've kind of just dodged each other for months, and now we're finally managing to talk about it, which is amazing. But I'm going to keep plugging this. You know, I'm now, my review should go out. I'm not sure it's going to go out next week. It might be the week after, because this is the first book I haven't reviewed before the interview, and the reason for that is I was too scared to review it, because I had too many questions, and I was scared with my dyslexia and stuff, I'd miss out the important bits in the book and not give it the credit, because I'm not a psychologist. So when that makes two of us. No, but you had the intelligence and forethought to actually go and hire one to help you with your book. So when I'm doing my review, I'm fully aware, and I'm sure people on the channel are, that I miss sections out when I'm reading, because that's what I'm quite famous for. Not that I'm famous, but you get my point. But I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do it the full service, because, like you said, you've explained more back to me on things that I've missed in the book. So it means I can now actually get it out properly and push it, because I just love this. I love the fact that the artwork, though not a lot, is very much honing down for kids. I didn't understand why it was just human-centric. You've explained that, because Radu was like, you know, you can't have that separation. Because I was like, you know, it's a fantasy game. Where's the elves? Where's the dwarfs? And had I reviewed it without talking to you, I'd have said that. And that sounds quite negative. Now it's quite obvious why, and maybe it was obvious to everyone else on looking in, but I now know, so I can explain it when I'm doing my review, if that makes sense. So
the important thing is for a parent to start with the book, without the book, even with the free preview, just to see, oh, with this I can explain something to my kids. It's another tool to explain stuff to kids.
Yeah.
If they're interested, they will find a way. Bit simple as that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I wish I had this when I was younger, and I could have kind of pushed my kids into, because there's so many people on the channel that go, oh yeah, I role play with my kids, and I'm like, I love it, but I secretly hate them because 5 kids. I've got my own party. I should have had my own party. I don't hate them like that, but do you know what I mean? You've got that jealousy of no one's interested in what dad does. So it's now not a joke because I've got subscribers, but it's been a joke. I've just got to thank Matt Park. Thank you very much for the membership, and Agile for memberships as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching and supporting as always. But yeah, it's been absolutely amazing having you on. So is there anything else you'd like me to do? Because I say I'll get the review out and I'll tag it. But if you can keep me involved in, well, obviously you're on my Discord and we're talking anyway. But it'd be lovely to get you back on when you're doing your next stages and things like that. And obviously, if anything I can do, actually, have you? Because I do a load of work with the Dyslexia Coventry stuff off my Facebook page. Are you on my Facebook group?
I don't think so.
No, because it might make sense.
Because I looked for Downs and Dyslexia on Facebook, I didn't find it. I don't know, but you can invite me.
Okay, yeah. If I invite you, you can then link in with the Dyslexia group.
One thing to note: Geek Native, UK site, also is having a giveaway. You can check it on this. So it's a giveaway. It's going on for this month. Maybe somebody's lucky.
Yeah. Geek. Let me.
Geek Native. I can if you.
Yeah. Right, I found Geek Native. Yeah, if you can find it quicker, I can share it in the comments in here. Actually, if you send it to me, what I'll do is I'll put it down in the video description, because then it will be embedded in the video. Then.
I'm putting it on the chat for you. Join the chat, or where do I send it?
You can either put it in the private chat on here then, and then I can put it in. There we go. Ta-da! It's in the chat. So I will put that link for the giveaway as well. Or that's just showing. I kind of want to look at it to see when it ends. How do I do that now? I'm so bad at technology. It's why I've got a normal. Everyone in my house has got an electronic toothbrush. I still use an old one. Actually, I've still had the same one for about 4 years because I refuse to change it, and my wife says I'm mad. I just don't like the idea of a new toothbrush. I just don't. Eventually, she throws them away and then forces me to have a new one. But I find them really uncomfortable. I don't like it.
I'll get you a toothbrush.
No, I don't want. But I'm careful with it. It's not all spread out. It still looks new. I can't share this Geek Nation thing. That's weird. Why can't I do that? Why can't? There we go. So I've done it off the chat thing. So let's pull that out, do that. Then I can share it into there. Then people can see as well, can't they? Competition, adventure and family. There we go. Cool. Where's Geek Nation? Okay, they're American as well. That's quite cool then.
No.
You got 30 days left on it. That's cool. So there's plenty of time to go and win yourself a copy. So if you want to buy a copy of this, we will put it in the video description as well. It will be in there. I will, obviously, because I need the money. Use my Amazon affiliate link because I've only just got it and no one's ever bought anything on it because I don't really know how to set them up. So I'll do that as an affiliate link on there as well. But Nicholas, it's actually been great chatting to you, and I'm really sorry it took us so long to actually get together to do this.
Thank you very much for being here and for this opportunity.
I've actually got one question before I go.
Yeah.
So it's not related to this. I just need to know because I just. So what is on your table currently? So the game's playing. I know you tell me you're sort of hooked on Baldur's Gate 3, but from a role playing game, what you're currently playing?
Well, I'm actually only playing D&D. I'm having a group of D&D.
Yeah.
But we play online. Everything is online. I don't have a table anymore. The last time that I had a table, it was used from my wife for other reasons, not for gaming. Everything I have is online. I actually have in 2 countries away in Greece.
Yeah.
I have 3 shelves of miniatures in my basement with. You remember? So from the original Hero Quest Dragon game system,
Yes.
even any board game like Siege, Besieged games and stuff with canon, I was keeping all the minis. I was keeping everything because everything was useful for D&D.
Yeah. No, I've done the same. A lot of my miniature board games, they've all gone in the bin now.
My car is
kept all
not
them in
that big.
Yeah.
I cannot bring anything here.
What took you to Romania then?
Well, wife.
Okay. Yeah.
Job, most importantly, because
Yeah.
I left Greece with the financial crisis 2011. I left Greece.
Yeah.
And I came to the UK, actually. I lived in Belfast, County Antrim, for a year. And I got a very, very good offer from Romania. And I came here, and this is where I live for the past 15 years almost.
So how many languages do you speak then?
Greek, Romanian, English.
Yeah.
And a little bit of left and rights.
Yeah.
No hablo español,
Yeah.
but a little bit of here and there.
Yeah, amazing. Because I didn't find out I was dyslexic till I was 20. Everyone I knew that was dyslexic didn't have to do French. They all got extra English classes. I didn't. And I was the only person in the whole of my class that failed French. Surprise, surprise.
The only reason I don't speak Italian is because of my mother was so persistent on me learning Italian that I didn't want to do it. I went for computers and other stuff.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, Greece is a very weird situation. It's like the news of Greece never seems to stop surprising me, like constantly.
Yeah.
Like no, still there is major crisis constantly, never ending. I cannot explain what's going on in there. Like really, I'm seeing the news in Greece and I cannot believe what I'm reading.
I don't think there's a good government throughout the world, is there, at this moment in time? But let's not do politics.
It's fine. I don't live there, so it's fine. They have their issues. They will deal with it.
Yeah. You can say
it's
what you
politics.
Want. Yeah.
Let's leave it there.
Yeah, let's leave it there. But everyone else that's watched and messaged and comments, and obviously Matthew and Agile for your very kind donations as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the questions. Go and buy this. Go and support Nicholas. Adventuring Family is a great book. I wish I had this when I was younger for me to play and for my kids. But I've got a copy now, so if I have any more kids, like that's likely. But yeah, is this because obviously if people do want to do it remotely, do you have the character sheets and stuff uploaded on stuff like Roll20 or things like that? I think I might have just lost him. Is he gone? We've got technical issues, I think. It's still going. I'm by myself now, aren't I? I think he's still here. Oh, that's good, Agile, that your book is coming on Wednesday. I'm guessing Nicholas has got problems over in Romania. So I will end it there. We're pretty much at the end anyway, I think. So for everyone, thanks. Yeah, I'm by myself now. So yeah, it's all gone wrong. I'm going to edit this bit out. We'll be fine. For everyone that's watched this, thank you for the support for the time tonight. I'm back live. I don't think I'm back live till next Thursday. I know I'm live with Erudite DM to talk about 2 of his Shadow Dark zines. So if you don't catch me live before then, thank you for this. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.